Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what else I need to do. Should I do backflips? Well, I'm telling you, now is the time. Subscribe. We have a team. We have a dangerous team here. We have a very dangerous team, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching this team in the next month. That's right. The New York Knicks went to Cleveland, to their home court, where we have not won in a couple of years, I believe. And we lost the first game of the season that was there. But the New York Knicks went to Cleveland without their all-star, without their possibly all-NBA, Julius Randle, power forward. That's right. They went to Cleveland, and they beat them. They beat them. They pummeled the best defense in the NBA. And Cleveland came out on fire. Donovan Mitchell hit his first 8 shots. In fact, let's look at these stats right here. Look at that. Donovan Mitchell finished the first quarter 9 of 10. He shot 90%, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. He couldn't miss. 23 points for Donovan Mitchell. Insane. Cedi Osman almost had double-digit points in that first quarter. 8 for him. Garland had 6. Mobley had 7. LeVert, he got his 1-3. He shot a three-pointer. He got a three-pointer. They scored 47 points. And the Knicks did something themselves. The Knicks answered back. They scored 42 points. The most combined points in the first quarter in the entire NBA this season. And look who led them. That's right. Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson answered back Donovan Mitchell's bucket, almost bucket for bucket. He provided 21 points in that first quarter. So Julius Randle, one of the top scorers in the first quarter in the entire NBA, is out. So what does Jalen Brunson do? In his second game back from his injury, he lights up the Cleveland Cavaliers. The team, remember, Jalen Brunson punished Utah, punished the Spider Mitchell Utah Jazz in the playoffs last season. So he knows how to step up and match this guy bucket for bucket and make him pay. And tonight, Jalen Brunson led the way. But it was a complete team effort because you don't beat the top defense in the NBA. Now they were missing Jared Allen, but we were missing Julius Randle. So it's not like, it's pretty, in fact, I feel like we took a bigger hit in terms of injuries. But look at that. Look at that performance. And the Knicks shot 7 of 12 in the first quarter, 58.3%, 62.5% overall. Unbelievable. The free throw shooting was good in the first quarter, but it went south after that. That's one thing. The Knicks got to start making their free throws. But this was, I will say, probably, I feel like I keep saying it. Like, this is one of the biggest wins of the season. The Knicks are now only 1 game away from clinching a playoff spot. The magic number. In fact, let's get to that. As you can see, the Knicks finished 130 to 116. Magic number is 1. Obi Toppin, who started tonight in place of Julius Randle, and he did a good job. You know, he had a moment there. There was a fight on the bench there with him, or argument between him and RJ, and RJ stood up and he was like, "What?" And they had a confrontation. I mean, no one touched each other, and Thibs was actually in the middle of it, and he calmed them down. And then later on, after the timeout, you saw RJ and Obi, totally make up. Basically, I don't know. They didn't make out. They made up. They came. They were hugging each other and stuff. And basically, it's all because these guys want it. They want this. They can taste it. They know they have something. And there's one major, and the something is, what they have is confidence. And that, I'm telling you right now, is the greatest contribution that this man has given this team. Confidence. And I talked about it in the last video. Confident, and even in the last postgame show. Confidence at this level is the single most important attribute, ingredient that you need to win at this level. And he provides it. And how does he do it? Because the team knows that when you desperately need a bucket, he'll get it for you. And not only that, he got us 48 points tonight. Shot 7 of 12 from behind the arc. 9 assists. Almost had a double-double. I mean, that outstanding game. It was a career high for Jalen Brunson. 48 points. I am blown away. And the best thing about this is, because I had a slight question mark about whether he was going to be the Brunson of before the injury. Well, tonight, completely, I have no question marks at all. No question marks at all. The Knicks went to Cleveland. They beat the team above them in the standings. They took care of business. They won the season series against them 3-1. This is wonderful for Knicks fans. What a great, great night this is. I cannot stop smiling, honestly. This was fantastic. And this right here, most points by a starting point guard in the last 60 years for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson just topped that list. That's right. He's number 1 on this list above Stephon Marbury. Not Stephon Marbury. Marbury, Nate Robinson, who got put up 45. I remember that game very clearly. Brunson put up 44 a couple months ago. Walt Clyde Frazier back in November 2nd in 1973, 44 points. And Kenny Skywalker, 44 points. Wait, no, that's not Kenny. That's Kemba. What am I talking about? I'm so excited now. I'm like losing control. That's Kemba Walker. That was last season when he lit him up. He lit up. I forgot who he lit up for 44 points. This is what we're talking about. We got ourselves a bona fide superstar in New York now. Jalen Brunson just announced to the world, to the NBA, hey, wait a second. The Knicks did not miss out on a superstar trade this summer. They got themselves a superstar, without having to make a trade. It just cost them a second-round pick because of tampering issues. That's it. This is, I mean, we need Julius Randle back, no doubt, to make a deep run. I do believe that at this moment, I feel pretty confident that the Knicks can beat the Cavs without Randle in a 7-game series. I do believe they can. I know that they'll put up a fight. It'll be a duel. And this game was close for long stretches of time. But in the end, the Knicks pulled away. The Knicks built up a 15-point lead. In fact, let's get to some highlights here while I talk about this stuff. Get to some highlights. The game started off insane. I mean, both teams were hitting everything, especially Donovan Mitchell. And here you go. Here's Darius Garland. Nice, beautiful alley-oop to Mobley. Mitch, outstanding game for him today. Mitch ended up with, what did he end up with? Like 14 rebounds, I believe. Yep, 14 rebounds. 9 of them were offensive rebounds. He finished with 10 points. He had a nice double-double. 2 steals, 2 blocks. He even had a dime and only committed 1 turnover. Hit 4 of 5 from the field. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Knicks all shot better than 56% from the field. 6 Knicks shot better than 56% from the field. The Knicks shot overall 52.7%. And from the three-point line, they put up 36 three-point attempts and connected on 47.2% of them. Outstanding. Look at this. This is when Cleveland was just eating us up, man. That first quarter, they were hitting everything. the defense was just so porous, but the Knicks came and clamped down. The second quarter, the third quarter, they lost the third quarter, but then the fourth quarter, they just lowered the hammer on the Cavs. And the Cavs, they made a little bit of a run. The Knicks built up a 15-point lead, and then they I think they cut it down to 7, I believe. So it started looking a little bit scary. But then, of course, that's when Thibs called a timeout. They ran a play, and the play was, of course, a high screen pick and roll. Brunson rolled. He finished. We got the points, and then came back the other way. We got the stop, came back, and then I believe he hit I think it was Brunson who hit a 3-point shot. But boom, that was it. So the lead went back up to 12, and the Knicks pretty much didn't look back afterwards. This was I can't even express fully how amazing this is. The Cavs are one of the best teams at home, and they are the top defense in the NBA, which the Knicks just lit up for 130 points without the 57-point man, Julius Randle. Get that in your head. No other Knick, other than Brunson, scored more than 14 points. But the Knicks had 7 players in double digits. Barrett, 14. Toppin, 12. Mitch, like I said before, 10. Quentin Grimes, 14. Josh Hart gave us 11 points and played some tremendous defense. The charge he took on Donovan Mitchell, it was a pivotal charge at that moment because the Cavs were starting to get their momentum. They were getting some stops on us, and I think it was even off a steal. And Josh Hart just took it, and he just totally obliterated that play by taking the charge from Donovan Mitchell. And they got Donovan Mitchell into foul trouble, so then it rendered him less effective as the game went on from a defensive standpoint. Donovan had 5 fouls total. But I mean, just all of the play. Josh Hart ended up with he didn't get credit with any steals, which is insane. Because to me, he caused like 4 of them. So I don't understand how they keep these scores sometimes. But Josh Hart hit all 4 of his buckets. He hit the 1 3-point shot that he took, which was a key one. We really need it. Look here. Look at this play right here. Boom. Boom. Obi! See, that's what Obi needed. You got to feed Obi. You got to feed the man. So this here, right? This might be when they started to look like, okay, third quarter, they made a little run. The Cavs won that quarter. So it kind of made it a little difficult for us. But the Knicks won the first half by 7, and they won the second half by 7 to end up winning by 14 points total. Unbelievable. I am so proud of this team. I'm so proud of Thibodeau, honestly. Thibs, at one time, Josh Hart was the power forward in that lineup. RJ and Obi were sitting. Isaiah Hartenstein, who was phenomenal. What happened there? Sorry about that. Isaiah Hartenstein was phenomenal in terms of his defensive play, in terms of his ability to find cutters. He found Josh Hart on a cut to the basket, and he found Deuce McBride on a cut to the basket for easy buckets. And they were when it happens, it just lifts the whole team up. And that's that confidence to be able to cut and know that someone's going to find you. It was beautiful. So we had both of our centers played great games today in different types of games. So it gave the Knicks offense different looks, and it forced the Cavs to adjust constantly. The ball was constant. I think that was the play I was just talking about right there. Here we go in the fourth quarter with 8-something left. RJ drove. Nice. Look at that. Laid it in. He got off to a poor start in that first quarter. I believe he missed all 4 of his shots, but he came through in the end. But he was definitely not. He was definitely our worst shooter of the night. Actually, Emmanuel Quickley was the worst shooter of the night. So we were able to beat the Cavs on a night when 2 of our top 3 remaining scorers that we have, Brunson, RJ, and Quickley. RJ and Quickley struggled tonight in terms of efficiency. Quickley only hit 5 of 16, 31.3%. But he hit 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 33%. Went through the free throw line a couple of times, hit those. Finished with 14 points, 4 assists. But, it wasn't in 30 minutes. It wasn't one of Quickly's best offensive performances because he's been on fire lately. But it didn't matter because look at that guy right there. Look at that play. I think that was the play I was just talking about. And then here's the three-pointer. See? So he came. That was after a timeout. And it's it. Game was over. It's all she wrote. Oh, man. What a beautiful sight. The New York Knicks are going places. They're going places, guys. I mean, I basically just rattled off all these stats for you guys. Josh Hart was 4 of 4, like I said. Obi Toppin, 5 of 7 in his 19 minutes. He probably could have played more, but the way the unit was playing without him at that time was playing so effectively that I have no issues with them sticking with that unit because this was a very pivotal game. And you have to go with what's working. And I love that Thibs doesn't stick with things that aren't working like he has in the past. So this was a great sign. Thibs has evolved. Everyone's evolving. All the young players are stepping into the limelight now, and they are delivering. This was fantastic. Grimes hit some big buckets. 4 of 9, 3 of 8 from behind the arc for him. What did he finish? 37.5%. So it's decent. 14 points for him. Look how many guys. We had 3 guys deliver 14 points. Beautiful. But the rebounding and the ability to defend in the second half without fouling were the biggest factors of why. I mean, of course, Brunson's offensive output, no doubt. But in terms of team effort, the ball kept moving. But team effort was that they upped the defensive intensity in the second half without fouling. And that is incredibly important for this team. That's one of the key factors that these Knicks need to totally grasp so that they can go far in these playoffs. Don't turn the ball over. Fight for rebounds. And don't foul. But still apply intense defense, which is very hard to do in the modern NBA. You have to cover a lot of ground. Sometimes you overdo it. But tonight was a night where the Knicks nailed that beautifully, and that is why they won this game. You look at the plus-minus. Obi and Mitch were the only ones minus. Obi was a -4. Mitch was a -1 because they were out there when in that first quarter when Donovan Mitchell was just cooking us. Brunson finished a +3. R.J. Barrett, a +10. Quentin Grimes was just even. Look at the bench unit. Isaiah Hartenstein, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, all double-digit plus-minus. Quickley and Hart led the way with a +18. On a night when Quickley didn't even have his shot going the way he has been, he still delivered a +18. And same for Josh Hart. Fantastic. Look at Isaiah Hartenstein's blocks. 3. And a beautiful, just fabulous blocks. They had the Cavs confused. They confused them in that second half. The Cavs were not ready for the defensive intensity and pressure that they encountered out on the three-point line in that second half, and then when they drove to the basket. Nothing was easy for them. Nothing at all. In fact, let's look at the fourth quarter stats. Here it is. The Cavs shot 26.3% in the fourth quarter. They shot 2 of 8 from the three-point line. They only took 8 three-point attempts then. And look, they only got 2 free throw attempts. They hit them both, though. They got 9 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks in that fourth quarter, but they only scored 14 points. 14 points when you're trying at home, when you're trying to win a game. Make a statement, because this is a playoff preview. These two teams are going to meet in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And it's not looking good for Cleveland. Here are the Knicks. This was the Knicks in the fourth quarter. 25 points. They outscored them by 11 in that fourth quarter. They shot 50%, 10 of 20. And a lot of that, I mean, that's Brunson. Because look, quickly shot 1 of 5 in that fourth quarter. And the Knicks still made half of their buckets. That is fantastic. The ball movement was tremendous. But even when they were running ISO plays, there was no congestion. And there was so much. I've seen the players felt like they felt freer, and they felt much more connected. And you saw the result. It's gorgeous. They end up with 14 rebounds in that fourth quarter, 2 steals and 2 blocks. Fantastic. And committed 3 turnovers there. How many turnovers did Cleveland commit? 3 turnovers as well. So that was pretty much even. How about in the first quarter? The first quarter, the Knicks committed only 1 turnover, and the Cavs only committed 1 turnover. Let's get to the team stats here. So here, let's see. This is one thing I wanted to look at. The points off turnovers. So the Cavs, they allowed, okay, so we were a +3 there. The Cavs allowed 16 points off their turnovers, and we allowed 13. So we were a +3 there. We only committed 10 turnovers. And this was a wild game. To think that there were only 20 turnovers total in this game is kind of wild. It didn't feel that way. Fast break, there were some issues, and that's, I think, was the main issue in the argument between Obi and RJ. RJ did not feed Obi the ball on a fast break, and I think he was trying to let him know, and which was a mistake by RJ. They had, I think there were at least 3 fast breaks that ended up in duds. One time RJ fed Grimes on a fast break, and Grimes, for some reason, didn't have his body in the right positioning, so he just ditched it back to RJ, and just resulted in a terrible result. RJ, I think he lost the ball. And then on a fast break with Obi coming down, there was 2. It was 3-on-1 or maybe 3-on-2, resulted in no buckets. So it's interesting when you look at this to see that the Knicks did end up with 13 points off the fast break, and Cleveland ended up with 11. But look at the fouls that I was talking about. They only committed 12 fouls in this entire game. Sometimes we commit 12 fouls in a quarter, and the Cavs committed 21 fouls. Largest lead was 15 by the Knicks. Largest lead for the Cavs was 8. And what's the other pertinent thing? The Cavs still ended up overall, from a total game standpoint, ended up shooting very well. 51.2% overall, almost 46% from the three-point line, but the Knicks shot 47% from the three-point line. And we almost matched them in three-point attempts. That is going to be key for us. I know we're not looked upon as a big three-point shooting team, but it doesn't matter. The way we are constructed, we have to keep putting those shots up, because when you're open, if you pass up that shot, you basically screw the entire possession. You're basically screwing it. So in this case, the Knicks are taking care of business, and we have to match our opponents in terms of three-point output. Now, whether we're going to hit them as often as they do, that is TBD. But I have high confidence that this team can become a very good three-point shooting team. We've got the players. We got Grimes, Quickly, Brunson, even RJ when he's looking good. We got Toppin, Josh Hart. He's been phenomenal from the three-point line. So I think we got to keep leaning into that, and I'm happy to see that they did it tonight. Rebounds. That was the other key factor here. Look at that. We were a plus 15 overall. We had 16 offensive rebounds. Think about the additional second chance points that we got off of that. Fabulous. Now, in terms of assists, the Cavs outdid us there, 33-24. Steals, we outdid them 6-2. Blocks, they got more blocks with Mobley around. And I think, who else got a lot of blocks? Was it Ahmed? Lamar Stevens got some key blocks. Dean Wade got some blocks. Osman, I think, got a block earlier on. That's going to happen. That's going to happen with that kind of team. But the team, let's just look at this. This is the first half highlights, the entire first half team stats. Look, in the first half, The Knicks ended up shooting 62.5% overall. And the Cavs started off smoking hot. So the Knicks defense in the second half cooled them down a little bit. They ended up with 57.4%. But they still shot 61% from behind the arc. We shot 60%. There it is. We just matched them bucket for bucket pretty much. But the rebounding was beginning to tell the story there. The same with the fouls. We kind of kept those down. Boy, I want to look at something else. Points in the paint. We ended up winning the points in the paint battle, 54-46. Fabulous. Fabulous. So the thing that I noticed the most, the difference between the two teams, was the Knicks wanted it more. How many times have we heard from our own Knicks players after big losses, yeah, they wanted it more. We need to have more urgency. Tonight, they were the team with urgency. They were the team with a fire in their belly. They were so hungry, they were even attacking each other. But it was all about winning. It wasn't about ego. It was about winning. That is the beauty of what's happening with this team. I love this team. I love it. Thank you so much for watching this. We got the Wizards up next. We're going to take care of that. And we are going to ride off into the playoffs. And then we're going to take care of business against Cleveland. And we will probably have to play the Milwaukee Bucks in the second round. I know I'm looking way ahead. But that's what the landscape is up ahead. Outstanding. Any given night, we got 6 guys that can give you 30 points. Tonight was a night we had a guy who gave us almost 50 points. Almost a 50 burger for Jalen Brunson. He could have had it if he wanted it. Beautiful. Great game. Outstanding. All right, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And, share this video. Drop your comments. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Definitely love the comments. I want to hear your feelings and thoughts about this tremendous victory and how the Knicks are going right now. Love it. I will see you around.